Hello YouTube, it's Josh from Card Overflow, and we're here with...
Yeah, the beautiful Joak the Bold, yeah. So that's the price card I won, for coming top 32.
Yes, and yeah, what did you do this weekend?
Pretty much top 32 with Sharks. Made the deck with 30 minutes before pre-reg. And then my first actual playing of the play style of the deck is at the YCS. So yeah, went X01 on day one, undefeated with Sharks, and then day two made into the top cut. And pretty much lost to Snake Eyes there. Unfortunately, drew some bricks, and it was in a very good match. Lost the die roll, got some bricks, but it happens. Can't ask for anything else.
Awesome. How'd you like the deck?
It plays very fluent. You got to play a lot of bricks in the deck to get things going. That's the issue. When you draw too many of the bricks, it just hurts. But we try to alleviate that things with some cards like droplets and such to send as cost to get them to be able to activate engrave and such. But yeah, that's how we alleviate it. But overall, fantastic production of the deck. But yeah, and I'm happy with the overall play.
Awesome. And before we get into the deck, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, of course. We'll give it to Cohen and Shark Daddy on YouTube and Realms. So thanks, guys.
Awesome, cool. All right, let's get into the deck.
Of course, we'll play 3 Buzzsaw Sharks. This is the heart and soul of the deck. This makes you get an instant rank 4 for your Bahamut to get into Toad. It also sets you up with a rank 4 to get into Kraken. If you can get XYZ Remora on the board, you can try and set up some plays in which you go with the Xyz Armor cards and go into the Batman, the rank 7, to be able to add back the Xyz Remora to get some rank 4 plays going. So yeah, very good card. Heart and soul of the deck. Best normal summon in the deck as well. So we try and make sure we do everything to get this card to our hand ASAP or special it from grave. The next card is one of the second best extend in the deck, XYZ Remora, very old card. Not once per turn for either of the effects. So you can detach 2 materials from any Xyz monsters. People forget that you don't need to do it from the same monster. So you can have 2 XYZs with materials. You can detach materials from them and special summon it. Now its best effect is when it's special summon, you can target 2 fish monsters in the grave, special summon them, and you can use them for rank 4 plays. So very, very good. You can set up extenders with Dweller, another Bahamut to go into another Toad or even a Kraken. So very good card. We go into the best extend into the deck, Abyss Shark. This gets you into either Buzzsaw or Xyz Remora. If you haven't used your normal summon, usually you can set up plays with Tenyi Shatana, the water Tenyi monster, and this card gets you into an instant rank 4 into Kraken, if you're trying to go with the Kraken control version of the deck, or if you haven't used your normal, you can get the Buzzsaw Shark from your deck as the normal summon. So very good, and if you already have Buzzsaw, you can go into the XYZ Remora to make sure you extend for days. One of the cards you can search off Abyss Shark is Crystal Shark. Great card, can be used in the grave or field, halves the attack of a water monster on field, and it can be used as, both these cards can be used as a rank 3 or 4 for number monster, which comes up. You'll see in the extra deck we're playing some spice to try and alleviate the number monsters and try and get some plays going for that lock-in. So of course we play the 2 Tenyi Shatana, usually played at 3. Like I said, made this deck with 30 minutes to go, logged in as 2 just because I was breaking too much with 3 just from testing the hands on the bloody Neuron app. So I was like, oh yeah, we'll try to see how it goes. So yeah, it went relatively good. There was a game in round 7 in the feature match. I opened 2 Shatana and a Gozen match against a Snake Eyes player. I specialed one, normal the other, made Kraken, set the Gozen match, waited for them to normal the Ash, they triggered the Popline hand, and then just chained Gozen. Pretty much won the game on the spot. They were livid, so yeah, very good card if it goes off. We played 2 Silent Sea Nettle. Konami, you need to make this a fish. Errata this as soon as you can. If this was a fish, you'd win every game. So pretty much Silent Sea Nettle makes it so that you can extend if you have a water monster. Locks you to water, but you don't. It doesn't really matter. But also, if it's in the grave, you can banish it to target up to 3 water monsters. Return them to the deck, so you can recycle all your water monsters, or you can recycle the Xyz monsters. So if you go through a lot of XYZs, you can actually bring them back. So there were some games in which Bahamut had been used more than once, twice, and then really Toad had been used twice, Kraken had been used twice. You could shuffle them back to resummon them, so very good card. We played 2 Silent Angler. Probably my least favorite extender, but you need to play him because he's a fish and he extends. He's the last play you do, just so you don't get locked out of your effects in hand. So yeah, good monster, you have to play it. Opted to play the 1 Lifeless Leaf Fish. I didn't want to get too many normal summons just because everyone's playing so many hand traps. You're seeing the 3 Ash, you're seeing the 3 Imperm, 3 Veilers and such. So yeah, try to stick to about 4 good normals. So the Lifeless, the 3 Buzzsaw, that's all I want to see, honestly. Lifeless makes it so you can send the bricks in your deck, the Crystal Shark, the Right Hand Shark, or if you open with White Mirror, you got full combo. You can pretty much send the Buzzsaw Shark and get going with White Mirror. White Mirror brings back Buzzsaw, adds back Buzzsaw from your deck, and you can get going with your rank 4 plays. So yeah, beautiful. Brick, Right Hand Shark, you got to play it. Moving forward, don't know if I'll play it, but honestly, very, very mid. Opened it twice in Top Cut in game 1 and 3.
Right.
So yeah, and I opened it with the Foolish as well, so it just made it very bad. And yeah, not a fan. It's very good if it comes off of Buzzsaw, but in hand it's just terrible, terrible. Had to play the 3 Ash just to get going. Ash is very good in this format against a lot of rogue decks. Not very good against Snake Eyes, so in games 2 and 3 I would side Ash out so that they can't extend into the heater play into Celine or into the heater into the Princess. So yeah, it just stops that, but you need to play it against the Branded, against the M-Steady and the Horus packages, the Raid Raptors and such. Yeah, so iffy about this one, but we'll see. And then of course you got to play 3 Nib. Pretty much trying to board wipe at the end of the combo. You can try and nib the board. Snake Eyes, if they can't put up a negate before the 5th summon, it's very good. Or you can wait for them to extend with the Flame Birch to bring back the 2 level 1s and then worsen their day, pretty much make them cry if you nib then. Yeah, so pretty much I got nibbed and then I nibbed them. You can also do something with the Kraken. You can pop the token that you give them. If it's a very big token, you can possibly OTK. So you can pretty much make Kraken, pop the token, and Kraken only cares about the attack it had on the field. So it doesn't care about the original attack. It'll pop it for what its attack is on the field. So if it's like a 4k or 6k token, you burn for 2k, 3k, and then you can attack for, if you have game, you can attack with 3k nib and the 1900 Kraken for 4900. Very good.
Wow. So
yeah, busted. And then Game Seal, you got to play one to ruin the Voiceless Voice players' days. They pretty much hate this card. Then you got the Raid Raptor decks playing their boss monster and their rank 13s. And then you got players playing pretty much a wide variety of decks that can bring out boss monsters. Game Seal makes it so that you can send it off of Ice Barrier and then add it back off Ice Barrier. So the purely players will also hate this because by the time they try and chain, your Ice Barrier's already left the grave to banish his cost, then you send Game Seal and you add Game Seal. So yeah, then you just drop Game Seal on them and you have a field day. Yeah, so very good cards. That's the monster lineup. Awesome. I'm very happy with it, honestly. Yeah, so very good.
Anything you would change in the ratios in the monsters, or
honestly,
cards you would want or to take out, or?
At the moment it's good. Possibly cut out the normal summons, so I'll try and see if we can up the normal summons to get going again. But yeah, it's very good if you know what you're doing. If you know how to resource, that's the point.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the spells. We play droplets. So we, as you can see from the main deck, monsters, we don't play many hand traps. We play 3 Ash, 3 Nib. This is the reason why. Droplets makes it so that we can hit the choke point in Snake Eyes, in which they summon out the IP Masquerade into the main monster zone through either the field spell or Flame Birch, possibly. So pretty much droplets makes it so that if they end board is Appaloosa and such, and the IP, if they try to trigger the IP, you can droplets and negate Appaloosa and IP and keep the Flame Birch on board, because that's how they get the 2 level 1s to get going again next turn. If you keep the Flame Birch on board and stop the IP, they won't get that, and then you can steal the Flame Birch with your Batman rank 7 to pretty much get more plays going and stop the recycling or the reuse or the searches that come with the level 1s. Yeah, so very good. You can also use this with a couple of cards in the extra deck, in which you can pop their monsters because their attack's different. But yeah, overall, very good card. It's stopped a lot of, and even against Voiceless, you can stop their 1 negate off the Skull Guardian, which is also very good to get your plays going. Then we get play the 2 talents. You got to play something because it's just hand trap heavy format. Everyone wants to hand trap you to death. You can get hit with Shifter, Ash, Droll, the whole gist. This makes it so you can play a bit more. So yeah, very good. Another good extender in the fish deck is the White Mirror. White Mirror pretty much makes it so that if you Foolish Burial or you send off Lifeless, you can special summon fish from your grave and then add any with the same name. So usually you can send XYZ Remora or Buzzsaw to get going, and then add a Buzzsaw from your deck to your hand, or add the Xyz Remora, and now you've got 2 Xyz Remoras in play to extend even further. So now you can rank 4 into something, detach 2 from the Xyz Remora in hand, special summon back the 2 XYZ rank 4 level 4 fishes to make more rank 4 plays. So very good. We played the 1 call bar. You got to play it. Got to hit the Princess, the Drolls, the Ash, whatever you can hit, the lows. So pretty much, yeah, good card, busted if it goes off. So very good. We played the 3 Foolish Burials of Goods. We play even more bricks in this deck than any other deck possible. This deck has to play the bricks to make it possible to play. We send the best card in the quarter century pack, the beautiful Ice Barrier. So Ice Barrier is a very good card. We'll see it shortly. We play the one Foolish to send Crystal Shark and the right-hand Shark to get the plays going. Or if you open with White Mirror, you can also special summon with White Mirror. So you usually send Buzzsaw or Lifeless or something to get going. So very good. And then another brick, Armored Xyz, pretty much sets you up for an OTK on your opponent's turn. So you can equip a monster, then use Batman the rank 7 effect to steal the opponent's monster. That's how you steal the Flame Verges, that's how you steal the Dragoons, that's how you steal the Skull Guardians. It doesn't target, so yeah, pretty much good. And then it's not once per turn, I don't think. So you can actually add it back of Batman, the rank 7, and do it again. So it's very good.
Wow.
And it pretty much makes your weak monsters become the attack of that monster and their attribute. So yeah, very good. And then it has the really good effect to OTK. You can actually send off the card that if you declare an attack, like let's say we have Kraken with Bahamut Shark equipped, we can declare an attack for 26 or whatever it is, and then we can send the Bahamut Shark to give another attack. So that's how we get more OTK inside. So that's how we get more damage in. So yeah, beautiful card. Bricky but beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the traps, of course, the God card, Ice Barrier. Yeah, nothing to say. It's bricky when it comes up, but it go kind of hard. So pretty much, if you brick with this, you can send it off with droplets to get going, or you can send it off with Foolish Burial Engine to get going as well. Also, in some of my top matches in the later rounds, the 9th, 8th round, this came in clutch, just because it can turn opponent's monster's attack into 0, negate their effects permanently, and then while in the graveyard, you can banish it. So you can use both effects. You can banish it and send your Abyss Shark, your Gamseel, your Crystal Shark, and add any water monster back from your graveyard. So if you have your Buzzsaws and such in the grave, you can add them back. Or if you don't actually need a water monster, you can actually send any water monster and add that water monster you sent to your hand. So Gamseel, Abyss Shark, Crystal Shark, and such. So very good card. Yeah, busted. We play the one brick. Another brick in the deck, yeah. So full Armored Xyz, you need this to search off with the XYZ armor fortress or whatever it is. It pretty much is so that you can XYZ if you control Xyz monster. Pretty much also, it has the grave effect that you can equip a Xyz to a monster you control, an XYZ monster. So that's how you trigger your rank 7 Batman XYZ Shark monster into stealing any monster your opponent controls and making it material. Another busted play is, if you want to be spicy, is if you're not waterlocked, you can possibly, if your opponent attacks any of your XYZ monsters, you can flip this up and you can summon out Zeus on your opponent's turn. So that's you can good. Actually, yeah.
That's really good.
Like let's say that you have a bloody a Bahamut with a material. If they attack into something and then at the end they try to pass, you can flip this guy up and then you can drop a Zeus on their turn to pretty much wipe their board on their own turn.
I'm a huge fan of that. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah, crazy. Very good. So yeah, that was what made it good. So very spicy. And then the one goes in match. This is the card that makes you control some matchups. If you open it up, it only happened once in the round 7 feature match in which I opened 2 10-E monsters and Gozen. I made a Kraken and set the Gozen, and in the feature, the player normal dash, search Poplar, tried to trigger Poplar. You flip the Gozen and they were livid. It ruined their day pretty much.
Yeah.
You warned on the spot, so pretty much the game was over. So good card.
Yeah.
We'll go into the extra deck. Just give me a sec. I'll just wipe it up.
Yeah, no problem. And is it 40 cards for the main deck?
41 cards.
41.
Yeah. So just to try and alleviate, you don't draw your bricks. That was the mindset going into it, and of course 30 minutes prep just to try and make it. Pretty much you don't want to draw the bricks, but it happens. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it does occur in some matchups. So I'll just pull up the extra deck. This is where we play the source. So we played the Flex Spot Ragnar Zero. This card is busted. Certain decks like to increase or decrease their monster's attack. This makes it so that you can get a draw from it by popping that face-up attack position monster. Also, it's a number and it's a water and it's a rank 4. So you can actually use Abyss Shark, Crystal Shark to make this guy. And that's the whole point. It's pretty much just a good number monster in certain circumstances. So the Kashtira Field Spell increases the attack, Droplets decreases certain attacks, Skull Guardian gets a certain amount of attack if it loads on the board. But yeah, very good card, and it's a +1. So you can overlay into the Xyz armor cards later. Abyss Dweller, didn't really go into it too much today. It was like the cherry on top. Pretty much you summon it at the end of your combo if you really want to win more. Pretty much ruined every Snake Eyes player's day. Very good card if it goes off. Xyz Armor Fortress, this guy is the one that's busted. He searches the +2 from deck. You need to play the bricks to go into him, and you need detach 2 from him to search those 2. So you just got to pray that you don't open one of them, and if you do, you try and do a certain place to alleviate that by ranking him over 1 material and detaching. Then we play the full armor crystal 0 lancer. This guy is to overlay over the rank 5. It also gets the effect, it gains 500 for each material. If it's destroyed, you can detach a material, and then also you can detach a material to negate all face-up monsters your opponent controls, which does come up. Very good. But then it's overlaid for the rank 7 Batman. So pretty much Batman makes it so that you can steal opponent's monster if any monster on the field is equipped. Quick effect, it'll steal a monster or attach a monster's material. That's how you get over the boss monsters in certain decks. The Skull Guardian, the Dragoon, the Mirror Jade, the bloody Snake Eyes Flameburge. Yeah, so very good card. It makes it so that they can't recycle it. Then it also has the effect you can target an Xyz Engrave, any XYZ card, and add it back to your hand. So you can target any of the XYZ Armor Fortress, or possibly your Armor, the Spell and Trap. And then here's the best bit, it can target XYZ Remora. So if you overlay, summon this guy, detach 2 to search the 2 spells, Spell and Trap, and then you overlay. If you have an XYZ Remora engraved, you can target it, add it back to hand, detach the 2 materials, especially some of the XYZ Remora, and then you can get the 2 level 4 fishes if you have it engraved. So very good card for that reason. Then we play the 2 Toad, the boss monster of the deck. Makes it so that you can recycle so much. Makes it actually give you a grind game against all the decks out at the moment, so you can keep adding back the waters from your grave, and it doesn't care how it's sent, so you can equip it as an equipped spell, or equipped trap, whatever. If it's sent to the graveyard, it doesn't matter, it will get you a water monster, so that's how you recycle some of the XYZs, or you get back your Buzzsaw Shark, your Abyss Shark, whatever combo piece you need. So very good. We played 2 Bahamut just to get into Toad, that's it. Just to get into the Toad. We played another flex spot, number 101 Cylon Arc. This card is just to steal the Mirror Jade and other pesty monsters that we can't deal with, or have graveyard effects. You can also declare an attack and then overlay into Zeus later on, because it now has 2 materials to Zeus, so very good effect. And it's just a number monster for the level 5s, the Abyss Shark, Crystal Shark, and it's a water rank 4, so very good card. Then of course the Kraken, the control side thing. Kraken makes it so all monsters on field become water. Snake Eyes players hate this card, so pretty much all monsters on field become water. They can't trigger their princes, and all their field spell can't give them attack. So also if they have the effect that it's if their attribute was fire when it was destroyed, which it isn't because of Kraken, they can't trigger their own graveyard effects off the Solomon Grade and such. So very good effect. It also can float, and it makes you can also destroy a water monster on your opponent's side of the field, which it makes, and inflict half damage. So there are some games where you can pop the nib token that you gave them for heavy damage, and then just OTK. So crazy stuff. And then the best bit about it is it can actually, it's not once per turn per card. So it is once per turn per card, but if it leaves the field and comes back, which in some cases you can destroy it by battle, bring it back, summon that to 2 spawns, and then attack with the spawn, bring out this guy from the grave again, attach a material, and now you got 2 more pops. So that makes it busted, really busted stuff. Wow. So yeah, very good card, and if you get 2 against on the board, it goes crazy. Then we play the 2 spawns. Spawn's alright, it can bring back the Kraken, but you need to play at least 1. I'm not sure about 2, but it did come up once, just summoning at 2. But very good card, it brings back the Kraken to make it all water, and it can quick effect pop a water monster on the field. Doesn't do damage, so very good card. And then of course the 1 Zeus. Zeus is just busted. If we're not waterlocked, it can wipe the board. Your opponent, if you board wipe in an empty open state, your opponent better top deck good. So yeah, it's pretty much boss monster of the deck if you get going. Other than that, that was the extra deck. It's very good. If I were to make any recommendations, it'd probably be putting this guy to 1. I did try to not include Typhon in the deck, just because if you're summoning Typhon, you're already in a losing position in some cases. But yeah, I guess in some cases you could end with Typhon on one of the higher monsters, like Bahamut, if you've already gone to Toad and they've summoned twice from the extra deck, which is very good. So it only uses the highest stack. I would probably swap out 1 spawn for a Typhon in future. All right, beautiful. Thanks, guys. Yeah. That was the extra deck, and now I'll quickly go over the side deck. So I try to make it so I don't use too much hand traps, so I don't get talanced much at all. So I pretty much played 3 Droll. In games 1 and 2, games 2 and 3 against Snake Eyes, I would usually side out my Ash completely. I don't want them to use it at all. I'd side it in for better cards. Droll was just there for the rogue matchups in which decks can add to their hand. Not too sure how I felt about it, but it's a hand trap heavy format. You got to play something. You play 2 thrust. Thrust is to get you to your heavy 1-offs in the deck, your White Mirror, your Foolish Burial of Goods, your Foolish Burial, and possibly even the 1-offs that you play on the side. Soul Release to ruin a Snake Eyes player's day comes up when you banish all their resources and they can't play from there. Once their Flame Birch goes to the grave, there's nothing to bring back. We played the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster just against trap decks. Just got to respect their grind and what they can do. So yeah, 1 Harpies. Played 2 Cosmic because the best card in the Snake Eyes player's deck is Summon Limit and Anti-Spell Fragrance. So of course you got to play this if they're playing that. So yeah, very good. And then of course their Worst Nightmare Evenly Match. If they don't put up a negate, you can put up the Evenly Match. You get that off the thrust if they trigger and stand by a main to bring back IP Masquerena or try and trigger IP or Appaloosa. Also, if you go evenly, you can bait it out. Another negate in the battle phase, and you can send it off droplets to make sure that it goes through the negate. So it's very good, very good card. And then of course you got to play 3 anti-spell. You got to respect certain decks playing Dark Ruler no more. So you got to make sure that your opponents can't activate the Dark Ruler no more. That was the sole reason. There was no other intent. It wasn't to set spells or traps. It was just to make sure that your opponent can't use Dark Ruler.
Yeah.
Of course. So yeah, the deck goes hard against everything except Dark Ruler. So you got to play anti-spell to try and alleviate that. But yeah, other than that, that was it.
Awesome. Anything in the side deck you would change? Anything you wish you had?
Honestly, no. I think it went all right. Yeah, I think it did its purpose for the event. So yeah, very happy with it.
I have to say, very impressive how much you learned the deck over the course of the tournament, and only preparing a little bit, right before. So
yeah, it was more trying to like learn what the other decks do, because this deck is very easy to learn and the combos. But thankfully the new Armor XC spell came out, so it made you so that there were newer combos with Xyz Remora specifically. So yeah, newer combos and had to learn them pretty quick. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, congratulations. Thank you for the deck. Thank you for explaining everything. It's all sounds really good. Everything was really good, So
of course, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
No worries. Thank you for your time. Take care.